Hello everyone, this is MystieGaming, and today we are going to be using refined storage to make a basic storage computer system. Now there's a lot of things that you can do with refined storage that are way more complex than this, but personally, I just want a nice little system that I can store my items, that has a crafting grid and a search bar, and it's so convenient and easy. And this replaces those massive chest rooms that you always see YouTubers creating. Now, first things first, you are obviously going to have to install refined storage. I will link it in the description, and if you are new to modding, I will also link the video where I explain how to get into modding and get everything set up. And then additionally, you are also going to have to install some sort of mod that generates power. So for this tutorial, I am using the power mod. I don't really know much about this mod, but it was the fastest one I could find on 1.21 or 1.26.1, which is the version we're currently on. But there are so many other options like Mechanism, Create with an add-on, just some generator mods out there. But let's get into some of the basic resources you are going to need in your survival world. So you are going to need a lot of quartz, a lot of iron, as well as string and slime. And that is in order to smelt the quartz down to silicone and craft the iron and quartz into quartz enriched iron. And then you're going to use that slime and string to create processor bindings. And all of these are used very extensively in the mod, as I will show you a little bit later in the video. Now next, let's go over some of the very basic kind of things you're going to make through the mod. So this is a crafting ingredient. It is called machine casing, and it is just quartz enriched iron surrounded by a piece of stone. And it is used to craft some of the other cool things that we are going to get to. Now, these are really important. These are called processor bindings, and you are going to use these to craft your actual storage bit. So, you're going to craft them. There's 3 tiers. There's the raw basic, raw improved, and raw advanced processors. So, you are going to need a piece of redstone, some iron, some of that processor binding we just talked about, and a silicone to craft a raw basic processor. And then you replace that iron with a gold ingot or a diamond to get the improved and advanced processors. Then you throw these in a furnace to get your final fully cooked processors that you will be using in a second. Now for the actual system itself, you're going to need 3 blocks. That's it, outside of your power source. So you're going to need the controller, which is essentially the brain of your system. It tells you how much power there is and a lot of information like how much it's using. The grid or crafting grid. Personally, I prefer the crafting grid just because, it's so nice to just be able to craft things right in there. And then finally, a disk drive, which will hold up to 8 storage disks, which can each hold up to 64,000 items. So there's a couple different tiers of the disk drive. Personally, I just go for one 64,000 item one at the beginning and then create another one if I run into storage problems. And as you can see, you can access your storage drive through here and it tells you some storage information. Now for the semi-challenging part about this, the crafting. Now it is a little resource intensive and you are going to have access to the nether and diamonds, but not that many diamonds, thankfully, along with a lot of quartz and a lot of iron. So the first crafting recipe I have up here is for the controller or the brains of your system, like I said. So it's 4 smooth quartz, 3 silicone, a machine casing, and an advanced processor, which if you remember from over here, that is the one crafted with the diamond. Then next up is the grid. So this is just the regular grid, and you're going to need 3 glass, a machine casing, a destruction core, an improved processor, two improved processors, a construction core, and some quartz enriched iron. Now, you are going to craft your construction core by combining a basic processor and some glowstone, and your destruction core with some nether quartz and another basic processor. So not too terrible. And then, to turn this into a crafting grid, you combine it with a crafting table and an advanced processor. So, a little bit more expensive, but in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. Next up is the disk drive, which again, pretty simple. You need 6 quartz enriched iron on each side, so a chest, a machine casing, and an advanced processor. So far, all you need is 3 diamonds and just a bunch of quartz and iron and glass to craft this, which is great. Now, this disk drive, if it doesn't have a disk in there, it's useless, essentially. So, now to the storage disks, which are a bit more complicated. So you can get a 1000 item storage disk, a 4K storage disk, a 16K storage disk, and finally that 64K storage disk. Now you craft them by crafting these parts up here and then combining it with a storage housing like this one into the actual disk that will go into your disk drive. Now, the 1K storage part, it is 4 quartz enriched iron, 3 glass, a redstone, 4 silicone, my bad, 1 quartz enriched iron, a redstone dust, and 3 glass. So not bad at all. But here is where it can get a little bit resource intensive. The next one, the 4K storage part, requires 3 1K storage parts and 4 basic processors alongside that redstone and quartz enriched iron. So you get 1,000 extra storage out of your 3 1K storage parts, but it's also more crafting. And the same thing happens when you go up to the 6K or 16K. It requires 3 of the 4K and 4 improved processors, which are the ones crafted out of gold over here. And then finally the 64K storage part, which requires 3 16K storage parts, 4 advanced processors, so the ones created out of the diamonds, quartz enriched iron, and redstone. So it just gets a little pricey here, and you can obviously always just craft a couple 1K storage parts or 4K storage parts to start with before going straight for that 64K storage part. But personally, I just get it over with because I don't want to keep crafting storage, and I just create one 64K storage part to begin with. And then you combine this with your storage drive, and then you just put it in here. And it also makes moving your storage really easy because all of my items are on the storage disk, and it's so nice. Now there's one more thing I want to show you, and that is how you can arrange it. So the power goes into this controller back here, and then as long as everything is connected in some way, you have some pretty good freedoms with how you want to arrange this. Personally, I always like going for that vertical one because then I can kind of make it a centerpiece. And another cool thing is if you get some dye, you can, I have to shift right click. You can dye your storage system whatever color you want. And I personally go for pink, you know me. I don't know why I would ever go for pink at all. But this is the first time I've used orange, and orange looks really cool as well. But that is all I have for you. The refined storage mod is super awesome. And if you want to see these crafting recipes in your own world, I highly suggest you install just enough items, and it creates this sidebar up here, which shows you all of the crafting recipes for everything, and it's super nice. I should not be clicking on all of the ones that are just dyeable. There we go. It shows us all of those crafting recipes right there. And again, the links are in the description below. Refined storage is available for a plethora of Minecraft versions, and it makes it one of my favorite mods if you just want a computer storage system that's kind of a little like mid-game, so you still get to use your chests and make a little chest room, but pretty quickly you can transition into using refined storage once your items become a little bit unmanageable for that early game storage system. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!